So good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming this morning. We're here this morning as a Senate and House Republican caucus to highlight the fact that Wednesday morning at the Transportation Committee there will be a bill to essentially reinstate this EV mandate. So the majority party has told you that they've quote unquote scrapped this plan. I believe that the governor's office so much has said that this is a quote nothing burger. But I can tell you something right now. This is an EV mandate. They've now doubled down on this. The only difference now is they want to wait to tell you in November, after the election has occurred, that they're going to do this. That's all the difference is. They want to do a study or a working group. But the interesting thing about this working group is it's entitled a roadmap. What roadmap in the world has ever been created in which you don't know what the destination is? So that is the biggest problem with this, is that they've essentially determined what this study is going to say. They've essentially decided we're going to appoint certain individuals to this working group. If you look, Representative Candelora and myself, both the House and Senate Republican caucuses, are limited in who we can appoint to this working group, yet the Democrat majority can appoint whomever they wish to this working group. Right there alone, if there was really a question of whether or not you wanted a true study on this issue, that raises questions. Then you go into the things that they're not going to look at. They're not going to look at what the cost is going to be. They're not going to look at what the infrastructure grid capacity we'd have to take on, or the cost on your electric bills to supplement or implement all of this. None of those questions that we, as a House Republican, as a Senate Republican caucus, have been asking for a year now are going to be answered. Yet somehow they're still going to double down on implementing this plan. We, the voters of this state, our constituents, have told the majority party in the summer, no to this plan. We told them in the fall, no to this plan. We told them again to a special session, no to this plan. We told them again for legislation, no to this plan. Yet now they've doubled down once again and are now calling it a working group. Don't let anyone fool you. The bill that's going to be presented before the Transportation Committee on Wednesday is the implementation of the EV mandate, and that's why we're here today. I want to thank the House Republican Minority Leader for being here with me today and to talk about this issue as well. Vin?
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Harding. I'm here today to just say there is another option. We proposed an option for a public hearing. We requested a conversation about reverting to the federal standards for the state of Connecticut. Like so many other states in this union who have chosen to adopt the federal standards, Connecticut continues to be the outlier and wants to follow California off of the EV mandate cliff. The Democrats didn't even want to have a public hearing on our issue, and we thought, frankly, that this entire issue of an electric vehicle mandate was taken off the table for this short session. The Democrats obviously put it back on the table for a hearing tomorrow to only talk about their vision for what the electric vehicle roadmap for Connecticut should look like. We're here today to say we want our vision. Our vision would be following an EPA standard that is recognizing the national issues associated with this. They're taking into consideration the technology, the car manufacturers' feedback, and the entire nation as a whole, their feedback. And they're saying, we need to continue to adjust to this issue. And that's something I think Connecticut needs to have that flexibility. The fact that Democrats have taken that option completely off the table as part of the conversation is narrow-minded, is short-sighted, and is a detriment to the residents of Connecticut. So moving forward tomorrow, we hope that they will adopt this standard and take it under consideration. And so with that, I turn over for further remarks to Senator Gordon.
Thank you and good morning. I'm State Senator Jeff Gordon, proud to represent 13 towns of 35th District, Northeast Connecticut, which is a rural part of our state. And one of the things I want to highlight is we are not, my Republican colleagues and I are not a party of no. We're not saying no to looking into things that we think are reasonable and realistic to address concerns, but we are the people who know that when you don't include the public in the decision making, you rush through what this roadmap is going to be, a cold rehash of a mandate and a ban already rejected by the people of Connecticut. And when you don't include all of the stakeholders that must be involved to figure all of these complex issues out, you're not going to have any type of plan. You're going to get what we hear is a roadmap that's already predetermined, already decided what it's going to be. That's not what the people of Connecticut want. They don't deserve it, and they definitely are letting their voices be heard. They do not like this type of political agenda. They want us, and we're doing that as Republicans, working on these issues, trying to create good public policy, and making certain that what gets done reflects what the people want, but also what the people can afford. When you look at this roadmap bill, it leaves out a number of key stakeholders. We don't see much in the way of representation of small businesses, small manufacturers. What about the farming community? I come from a district, a lot of farmers who are concerned. They were opposed to the mandates and the bans. They're very concerned about this roadmap and how that's going to affect them. Where is specifically a lot of the items, what I call common sense, real world, nuts and bolts items that we really need to address in any type of roadmap, any type of proposal? Where's all this electricity going to come from? Are we going to be burning more fossil fuels to produce all of it? Who's going to pay for it all? Already electric bills are high. My constituents can't pay more. This roadmap doesn't address that. Who's going to build the infrastructure? Who's going to build the charging stations? How are we going to have all of that distributed everywhere in the state? The cities, the suburbs, even the rural parts of the state. None of that is in this bill. There's many, many more things that are being raised that are not being addressed in this bill. And that gets to the fact that this, again, is predetermined. It's an inconvenient truth for the Democrats that we're raising these issues. But again, when we listen to people, we meet with people, we have forums, we reach out to them. This is what they're asking us. This is their concerns. We're bringing it forward. And the Democrats must address it. And it's clear they don't want to. They just want to say we're the naysayers. But we're the ones really advocating, really speaking up for the people. I'm proud to do that with my Republican colleagues, and we really need to make certain that the Democrats hear us tomorrow at the committee on this bill and continue to hear us to make certain that what the people want and what the people don't want really gets done and not done by their representatives, their government. Because after all, this is what's going to affect their lives, this is going to affect their livelihoods, and this is not a minor issue. And we really need to make certain that if we're going to do something, we do it right and we do it the right way. This roadmap doesn't do that whatsoever, and it will have bad consequences on people, on our small businesses, families, and farms, and we can't let that happen. And that's why we're standing up and saying no to this, but looking to see what we can do, again, that's reasonable and realistic. So I'm happy to be here with my Republican colleagues today and to work with them on this issue.
Thank you. So I want to thank Senator Gordon for those remarks, and I just want to highlight one thing that he had mentioned is public input. I know my Senate colleagues, my House colleagues, Senator Sampson, Senator Martin, Senator Seminara, Senator Ciccarella, all of them have gone out and met with their constituents on this issue. And resoundingly, their constituents have said no to this plan. Resoundingly. Yet they have now crafted this plan, this working group, to have a predetermined solution to implementing this without any public input. So that's the reason we stand here today to, one, advise our constituents of that, advise them of what's going to happen tomorrow in the Transportation Committee, and to once again say no